Okay guys, hello. So I hope you can see this. This is the new Honda HR-V that Honda took up in the category a little bit, and well, let's test it. So right now I am going to go to a football tournament of my uncle where he's playing, so I'm going to join them, and on the way let's find out how efficient this hybrid powertrain that this car has, how efficient it really is. So let's see the normal fuel consumption. Maybe on the way back I'll try to take it even more efficiently and try to get the lowest possible consumption I can get. And I'd also would like to take it on some nice winding road. So let's go. The road is about 86 kilometers to the destination. So I think let's set off. Okay guys, so we have 77 kilometers ahead of us. So let's see what the fuel consumption is going to get. As you can see, we have a classical hybrid system here that Honda is making. I actually think it's one of the very good hybrid systems. I could actually say I think it's comparatively good to Toyota's one. For now, what I can say is that I really love the interior of this car. I really like the combination with the white. There is a lot of nice materials. You have the textile material, you have the textile with the like sort of a vegan leather or what it is, but it is very nice to touch. It's everywhere, and it actually feels like really nice, this interior, you know. The design of it is very simple yet very elegant. So, and you still have some hardware controls for the climate control, which is very useful. Here you change the driving modes. You even have some little off-road function here for going down the hill. And on the left of the steering wheel you have quick shortcut to all the safety systems. You have the traction control turn off for when you're in mud or something, and you also open the boot from here because the boot in this particular car is opened electrically. On the instrument display you have an analog dial here on the right, and this here on the left from it, that's a digital display that you can change. Now, right now I'm looking at the energy distribution, so I can see how much battery I have. Now I'm using the energy from the battery. So yeah, it's very nice. And all these dials here that I can change, they are very simple. Even when I put navigation, you don't get a map, which is what you maybe would want, but you just get like a navigation, you know. In 1.3 kilometers I'm going straight. So yeah, it's kind of very simple one, but I don't mind it. And also here you have two USB ports. One is for multimedia, for example when you want to use CarPlay, which I'm going to use for the moment. And then the other one is only for charging. Probably you have some higher speeds for charging your mobile phone, so that's very good. In terms of this button of driving modes, you have 3 driving modes. Let's have a look. So right now we're at Econ. You have the normal, and then you have the sport. Each mode is of course a different setting for the power unit. So right now we're trying to be the most efficient we can be. But maybe what I can say now while we're driving on this normal road is that the ride is very supple. I mean, it's actually a very interesting setup because I can feel the roads also through the steering wheel, which is nice, particularly in an SUV. I can feel, but on the bigger bumps, the suspension is so supple, it just smooths them out very nice, these big bumps. But these smaller ones, you can actually feel them like in a really like sort of a driver's car, you know. So it's still a little bit of a driver's car, but these bigger bumps, as I've now come through, I mean, it really manages them very nicely. And this is the road where I always test the comfortability of the car, because it's an old type of road, like, you know, it has a lot of these connections, because it's like little parts connected together. But right now I'm driving here for the first time with this car, and this is actually very, very comfortable. In other cars I'm bumping like this, particularly in sporty cars, bumping like this, but this is actually very comfortable, more comfortable than some normal compact cars. This is very nice. This is comparable to, I would say, a Citroen C4 that I was driving through here, which has those bump stops on each end of the suspension. Okay guys, so we're on the way from the tournament, and let's see the fuel consumption. Let's see what it is. Hang on, what it is. Range and fuel, it's 5.1 liter. So combine the motorway, the B roads, not much of the town. It's actually now it went down to 5 liters, so that's very good actually. Yeah, let's see if it's going to change on the way back to Bratislava. And on the way also we're going to stop at the Plzeňská Laba and see how this car actually handles in the corners. So yeah, see you there. Okay guys, so we arrived to the finish, to the destination of the fuel consumption test. And on the way back here I was actually driving more dynamically. I was doing 150 on the motorway and overtaking a lot on the B roads. So yeah, but let's have a look at the fuel consumption, which is 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers, and we totally done 214 kilometers. So that actually tells us that this car is really, really efficient for an SUV. Yeah, so it's a really efficient SUV. I really like the hybrid system, how it works in this car is really good. And now it's time to see how it does, how it drives on a winding road, on a mountain hill, and see if it handles well, considering it's an SUV, you know, so, and it's a comfortable SUV. So let's see, but first I want to take you around the car a little bit. First I want to take you to the back, because in the back there is really loads of space for the passengers. Yeah, so let's have a look how much room I have for my knees. It's just very comfortable to sit here. I just close the door so you can see. Let's have a look. You can see how much room I have. You also have the armrest here with the cup holders and the air conditioning in the back. Also you can charge your mobile phones in here, and you also have some sort of a place for other things. And in the roof you have these very, very nice looking headlamps, and they are very strong in the night. And in the doors you have like this small little bin for the bottle, for some small bottle. So it's actually really, really nice in the back. The boot in this equipment is opened electrically, as you can see. So this is the speed it opens. If you look at the boot, you know, it is enough of the spacious, but it's not the biggest in the class, or maybe for a car that I've seen, similar cars of this size. But it's decently big, and you also have a space here. I'm just going to put these things out. You have a space for this toolbox here. So yeah, I think it's enough. I think it's good enough. And you also have some very good and very strong lighting in the night, and some hooks here. So yeah, the boot is actually pretty good. And the thing I also like, you have like this sunshade, which is also good. You can of course open the boot even from the driver's space. So yeah, that is pretty good. And then there is the design, you know, the rear part of the car looks like really athletic, you know, and looks lean. I really like the headlights, how they look. I don't have the key here to show you. I'll try to get the video and show you later of these lights, but it really looks nice. And just to tell you, these are 18-inch wheels, and we have the tires of the size 225/50 R18. These are Michelin Primacy 4, so not sporty tires, but touring tires, of course. So yeah, maybe as you can hear now, the car turned on the engine because it's still on. And let's go to the front. As I said, I really like the design of the interior. Look at the nice seats you've got here in the car. You can see they really look nice, and yeah, their support is actually decent for your back when you're driving. It's actually okay, but they are more of course made for comfort than holding your body. So yeah, I think I mentioned interior before, but let's just have a closer look. So this is the display normally. This is the display when you change it into the Apple CarPlay. Everything works reliably, everything works fast, pretty good. Here is the air conditioning, here is the place for your mobile phone, and here is where you charge your mobile phone, and here is the switch with which you turn it on or off. Here you change driving modes. This is hill decline assistant, and here is a decently big armrest. So yeah, in terms of practicality, this car is actually pretty decent, and it has one amazing feature which I forgot to tell you about. Let me go to this side so that I can show you. So you remember the Honda Jazz, what it had. So you basically go down here, there's a little bottle here, sorry, I've been drinking, and you put the seat out like this. Look, you can see, well, you need to like lock it somehow. I don't know how it works, but if you lock it like this, look how much bloody space you've got there. You can even put like 2 or 3 bikes in there. So this is really a very practical solution that I really like about the recent Honda. So that is actually great. Yeah, I think that's enough of talking about the car. Let's just have a look at the front side. Here you can see the signature of the lights. You know, it's pretty like sort of aggressive looking, but it's very nice, it's very simple. I really like that the lights are very lean, you know, they are very lean, and it's a nice silhouette like this. So yeah, and the little detail that I like is these 3 colors, white, blue and red here. I actually don't know what it stands for, but it looks very nice. So yeah, enough about talking the walk around of the car. Let's just take it for a drive and see if it handles good enough. So yeah, these are the tires, Michelin Primacy Force. Let's check it out. Okay guys, so I have traction control turned off. That's right. Now let's turn off the AC. Yes, can I turn it off completely? Yeah. So I turned off the ventilation completely, and I put it into sports mode. So everything is set up and ready. So let the test begin. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is the guy doing? Okay, let's go. The bike is behind me. He's going to want to overtake me. But yeah, look. Now the acceleration was good because I had some battery. Oh wow, it's a really big bump here. So let's see. Come on, man, it's really not that bad, these corners, so that you couldn't drive fast through here, man. Or is it a woman? Yeah, let's go. We have cleaner. You can see there was nobody coming. The brakes, yeah. Okay, and we also have, you know, quite a high, tall tires. But okay, we have the leaning, but the grip is here. Yeah, and it's always like leaning towards the front wheel, which is probably not what you want as much. Look, you have to really work a lot with the steering wheel in the corners with this car. Oh, but the brakes, they are very sharp. The car is of course dancing a little bit on them. So yeah. Oh, I really have to quite work here with the steering wheel, because oh, it's yeah, it's not the most fun you would have in the car. And now the seats, they are actually not holding me enough, but I'm trying. Come on, Honda. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, you can feel how it's transferring weight. Oh, now it's breaking the outer wheel. Okay, the brakes. Yeah. I'm deleting what I said about the seats. They are not supporting me at all in the corners. They are very vague actually. Let's see the brakes. Wow, the brakes are very strong in this car. The brakes, I have to say, they are very good. Nice. Okay, now behind some BMWs and some Mitsubishi. Yeah, but we're basically on the end of the hill. So as you can see, I told you what you now know. You have some leaning, you have body roll, so yeah, you have to work a lot with the steering wheel with this car to keep it in the right line. So it's not a car meant for driving, even though the steering actually is precise, a little bit isolated, but it is very precise to navigate the car where you want it. So yeah, it's okay. It's not a car meant to go fast around a road like this, but still, at least we know what it behaves like, because that's important. So you know. And how about the fuel consumption with this sporty driving? Yeah, it went up from 5.5 to 5.9, so at least you can see now. Okay, so I believe that's it. I was of course trying. I would like to also try to show you like off-road, but I'm going to leave that for another day probably. So for now, bye bye guys.